How's it going, everyone? I am the Emerald Raider and welcome to the channel. N7 Day has now come and gone, leaving us with what seemed to be a 30-second teaser video and dozens of N7 Day videos. I've been a huge fan of Mass Effect since the first one came out, and seeing so many theories and discussions around the upcoming installment for the series has reignited my passion for it. So let me go ahead and share my thoughts on what we got. It all started with a community letter on the EA page for Mass Effect. There's a specific section I'd like to highlight real quick. That process is equal parts rewarding and challenging. We've asked ourselves many of the same questions you've asked us over the years. What happened to everyone you know and love in the game? Who really died? Who had kids with whom? What does a baby Volus sound like? What about all the galaxies? The endings? What the heck is going on with our sorry scientist turned shadow broker? What about S? Never mind, you get the idea. And of course, to those questions there are answers, but you'll have to wait to hear them. And everything we do say won't be easy to find, just like you've come to expect from our N7 Day teases. So, this Who Died bit here. Of course, the first place that Mass Effect fans' minds goes to is they're talking about Shepard and the squad. And yeah, I can agree with that. But I also think that this bit, combined with the N7 Day 2021 poster of the Geth crater, are hints at what really happened with the Geth after Mass Effect 3. What the heck is going on with our Asari scientist turned shadow broker? Appearing again, Liara is shaping up to be a major part of the next game. What about S? They knew what they were doing here, that's all I gotta say. Littered throughout this letter were a bunch of ones and zeros for binary code that, once decoded, led to the first of three transmissions. The first one being Epsilon. Two major things here being the Andromeda distress signal detected and the audio transcript. As far as I know, and I did only play Andromeda that one time, the Initiative never sent any distress signals to the Milky Way. It's easy to think they would have after encountering the Scourge, the uprising on the Nexus, the Orcs being MIA, and encountering the Ket, but when you really think about it, why would they send a distress signal to the Milky Way? What exactly is the Milky Way going to do for them? It would take them over 600 years to send help, and all the Initiative's problems were immediate. It makes no sense to send a distress signal to people who cannot help you. This to me is hinting at the new game being not only set far into the future of the endings of Mass Effect 3, but also after the events of Andromeda. How long after, I'm not sure, but we'll get to that. As for the audio transcript, it reads, "Although they should know by now not to underestimate human redacted. We know the last word there is defiance. We know this because of the transmission that was decoded on N7 Day 2022. I'll play it here."
Like the symptom. How did we miss this? Exactly. The Council will be furious. Although they should know by now not to underestimate human defiance.
I think there's more to this when combined with what we got this year, but for now, let's move on. Attached to this Epsilon transmission was the first bit of the 30-second teaser, in which we get what seems to be a Krogan sighting. So hell yeah, it's always great to see the Krogan. After the Epsilon transmission came Oculon. Two more important bits here being access code Oculon 2819 Defiance and the classified review briefing materials on official Alliance channels. 2819 is the year that Mass Effect Andromeda is set in, confirming the setting of the next game is set over 600 years in the future of Mass Effect 3. Essentially what this means is,
everyone you knew or loved is dead.
Now I know that for a lot of fans of the trilogy, this can be a tough thing to process because they so badly wanted the game to be set right after Mass Effect 3 to see Shepard and all our friends. That just is not going to happen. Other than Grunt, maybe Rex, and of course Liara, none of our companions live that long. But I don't want to be mean, so I'll move on from this point while leaving a bit of copium behind for those of you who want it. Time travel? Question mark? The official comms channels bit is also interesting, but I'll cover that when talking about my overall theory. Next came access code Post Nebula. This was the final bit of the transmission packet, and attached was the full 30-second teaser, which I'm sure you've all seen, but I'll show it anyway for those of you who may not have. Some people see the N7 logo on this individual and believe this is Commander Shepard back in action. I'd like to remind those people this is set over 600 years in the future.
Everyone you knew or loved is dead.
Others think this could be Liara. That's highly unlikely. A, we've seen what she's going to look like already. B, N7 is a human military designation. They only allow the best of the Human Systems Alliance military personnel in. And C, the helmet this N7 agent is wearing is too small for an Asari head to fit into. The last two popular theories of who the N7 agent could be are either a new antagonist or, and this is the most likely in my opinion, the new protagonist. Either work for my theory on what is going on here. So, going back to the post-Nebula transmission, it is a warning of a security breach and contacting the Systems Alliance. I believe that this security breach is them detecting Liara snooping in their business. Whatever Liara is seeing has to do with the humans doing things they should not be doing. The Council will be furious, she says. So, my theory is the Alliance detected Liara snooping around. She found some information that could seriously harm their position and status with the Council and the galactic community. Because of this, they sent this N7 agent, whether as the antagonist of the new game or the protagonist, to find and silence Liara. If I had to guess, I'd say it will be us as the N7 agent, and one bit of evidence behind this is the Mass Effect team has already referred to us all as agents. I don't actually think we will go through with silencing Liara, but it's a good way for our character to meet her. Okay, that was already a good chunk of things to think about and analyze, but as N7 days go, there's even more to talk about and analyze. Like for instance, the question of where this N7 agent is exactly. A few locations come to mind. It could be Tachanka. The outside has a yellowish greenish tint that along with the Krogan we see in the background could support that, but I think it's more likely the planet below in this image of MR7 station being built. It has already been confirmed that this is not a mass relay, so I'm calling it MR7 station. They have a similar color scheme in my opinion, and this image was paired with Liara's encoded audio message. If it is this planet that the N7 agent is on, that would support my theory of them being after Liara, as this is where she would have been detected breaching the Alliance security systems. Then there's also the poster that came out after this teaser, which shows an awesome image of the N7 agent with Renegade Red and Paragon Blue swirling down their coat and art of a packed club. Zooming in, the aesthetics of the club brings the Afterlife, Chorus Den, and Flux to mind. We can also see a variety of races inside, ranging from Krogan, Asari, Turian, and Solarian to Listeni, these human-looking people, though I'm not sure they are human, a few Slendermen, and even a possible Ryloi sighting. We can also see a Turian standing next to something that doesn't quite look like any race I've seen in Mass Effect. It could be a Quarian maybe, but its legs and feet are hidden, so I'm not sure it is. Side note, looking at this Turian with the eye visor thing, one could be forgiven for downing some more copium and saying that that's Garrus. But again, this is set over 600 years in the future.
Everyone you knew or loved is dead.
Finally, there's this last bit showing an Angaran speaking with an Asari with what seems to be a Geth bodyguard. Some have speculated that this could be Arya in a renovated afterlife, but the clientele don't really give me Omega vibes. And to me, this Asari doesn't have the style that Arya had. I think instead, this is showing Liara with the Geth that she was speaking to in the N7 2022 audio transmission. Speaking of the Geth, can we just pause to appreciate this one strip? Damn, is it stylish, which actually points to the Geth thinking on a more individual level than the consensus mind they had in the trilogy. In my opinion, this one wearing clothes hints at the Geth Quarian piece being canon. That is why I believe that this part of the community letter about who actually died is talking about the Geth, and that reinforces my belief that the Destroy ending is canon. We are told in that ending that all synthetic life in the Milky Way would die if we choose Destroy, even Commander Shepard, who had various synthetic replacements keeping them alive. This is already proven to be a lie, as in the perfect Destroy ending, Commander Shepard is still alive. Seeing the Angara here brings forth some fear that this could be set in the Andromeda Galaxy, but I don't think it is. For one, if this was Andromeda, there would be more than one Angara present. Also, the Quarian arc never arrived in Andromeda, as far as we know. The lack of Quarian in this arc may be a point toward this being Andromeda, but don't forget, it was the Quarian arc that housed the Hanar and Volus populations, and there are a few Hanar and Volus present in this art. So that to me is a point toward this being the Milky Way. But the most damning evidence that this is the Milky Way, in my opinion, is the Geth being present. For the people that travel to Andromeda, it was the Geth fleet, not Sovereign. that attacked Eden Prime, Noveria, Pharos, and laid siege on the Citadel. The Geth are, for all intents and purposes, boogeymen to the initiative, and one would not make it far on an inhabited planet, let alone a crowded club. So, how do I think the Mass Effect team plans on merging the trilogy with Mass Effect Andromeda for the new game? Well, thinking back to Mass Effect Andromeda, we know that the Kett we fought under Archon's command were just a small bit of the Kett Empire's actual might. How big the Empire is, we don't know, but we know that the Angara were definitely not the first race to be exalted. I think that a few years after the defeat of Archon, the Kett Empire returned to Helios in force, overwhelming the Angara and the Initiative. How they show up in the Milky Way is anyone's guess. Maybe Milky Way technology advanced to a point that they can help them somehow. Maybe it's set farther into the future of Mass Effect Andromeda. And what exactly does that mean for the Kett? Do they follow into the Milky Way? I don't know, but I'm eager to find out. There's so many questions and so many theories, so much speculation to be had. That's all I've got for you today though. If you enjoyed, please don't forget to leave a like and comment. I'd love to read your thoughts and theories on all of this. This is the first of many videos covering Mass Effect and other upcoming games. I also have a few RPG Let's Plays on the channel with the Jade Elf if you guys are interested. Make sure to subscribe for more.